Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Future Plays Here podcast. I'm your host, Trey Hall. The idea that I have behind this podcast is to essentially bring on guests, make it guest centered, and talk, Illinois High School Association sports. Today, our first guest is a diving player from Oswego Co-op, girls diving player. She's the state record holder and also back-to-back state champion in girls diving. And her coach, Coach Ryan from Oswego Co-op. So we spent a little bit of time interviewing them both. Check that out. Today, I have two very special guests joining us. Girls diving state record holder, Katie Malm, and her head coach, Ryan Penzing of Oswego Co-op. Thank you for joining me today. I know today is a school day and we're doing this at 8:30 in the morning, but I really do appreciate you both for taking some time out of your day to, join me and talk a little bit about Oswego Co-op. Katie, I know you just broke the state record in girls diving this year, but also you are a back-to-back state champion as well, right?
Yep.
Let's just talk about that. How does that feel, accomplishing, two state championships during your tenure in high school, but also breaking the girls' state diving record that was held for about 20 years?
Yeah. Well, I mean, last year, I think going into it, I didn't really know that I was going to win and come out on top. I think I definitely had a chance. Like, we were looking at the scores, of course, before the meet, and my dives were the best they've been all season at the very end. So going into it, I kind of just had to hit my dives like I usually do, and then whatever turns out, turns out. And it was first. So, I mean, the outlook going into senior year was to get first again, just because couldn't leave that hanging. So, senior year, I had more bigger dives put in. I was hitting them at all my meets. Um, Sectionals, I went into it wanting to break my record at our own pool along with the record at Nikwa. So I think that was definitely motivating. And then the goal all season has been to break the state record. And I know I was capable of it. So going into state, I mean, since it was my last high school meet, like I wanted to have fun with it, but there was also a job to be done. So I think each dive taking it one at a time. And then in the end, it all worked out just because I wasn't focused on getting to that score or getting that record, just each dive and doing them as best as I can.
Okay, so that's something you prepare for essentially the whole year. Was it
Yeah.
was it just kind of in the back of your head?
And then, yeah, we would bring it up here and there at practice. Like, just remember, like, this is on the table for you to get. So is just like motivator throughout the whole season.
Absolutely. Coach, I want to bring it to you. What is it like, coaching somebody like Katie Malm, who's an elite talent? What is the things that you coach her on and making sure she's staying consistent in her training and effort and practice and things like that?
I gotta start by saying elite doesn't even like, I mean, this is a generational this is a one and only in my opinion, and I mean, I've only been doing this for about 10 years, so, um, but to see her come in as a freshman and already, breaking records, and this is someone that came in with no diving experience. I mean, like, gym class diving experience, essentially, and a lot of gymnastics background. I don't know how much you have on that background, but, I mean, she was very air aware, very, agile and everything, but she figured everything out very quick. She's a hard worker and a good study. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything else as a coach, to be totally honest with you. Um, She's self-reflective. If you give her a piece of information, you can see her actually processing that and actually watching film and, like, taking it to heart and seeing what those next steps are gonna look like. I Again, like, to have the physical ability paired with someone that's going to be a good study with the sport, um, I it's gonna be hard to match that in the rest of my coaching career, I believe.
You speak very highly of her. I can see, very
She
proud of her as well. I,
she's got a state record.
I just want to make sure that I heard you correctly. Did you start diving in high school, or were you diving before that, Katie?
Freshman year was like the first time I really was on like a dive team. Like I would do it here and there, like neighborhood pools, whatever, just because I knew how to do a flip and like my whole gymnastics
Just for
background.
fun?
So then it was really just something that I could do for the school. I know like going into freshman year, I wanted to be a part of a school team and it was something different to try. So I was like, why not? And even like my mom emailed Ryan and was like, "You can kick her off the team if she's not good enough because she has another sport, like, it's okay." She won't be like she won't take it to heart, but I stuck with it and it definitely paid off, so
So was it you that were interested in doing diving, or was it Coach Ryan that kind of got you into it? Well, how did you who brought the idea up to you to maybe join the dive team as a freshman?
yeah. I mean, it's mostly myself. A lot of, the gymnasts who were training with me, when they quit, they decided to switch to diving, and I knew some of the girls that were on the team my freshman year, so I just thought, like, I already know some girls going to it and being at the practices, and they loved it. I was talking to them. They loved Ryan, so, I mean, it was just something like another team aspect that I could be a part of, so it was mostly me, and then Ryan convinced me really to stay with it.
I think you convince yourself once you recognized how much you had to grow and how much you were capable of doing right off the
Yeah.
start. I mean, my interpretation was she was coming in as a relaxing change of pace from gymnastics. I mean, she in her head, she was a gymnast and she still is, but she was a gymnast that was going to try out diving and now she's a diver.
That's very interesting that, a sport that so not diving, I'm sorry. Gymnastics was your sport that you played probably growing up, I'm assuming then, like consistently?
Yeah, I'm still in it. This is my 10th year, so
Okay.
been it for a while.
So, but so in a way it translates over to diving for you. That's because you were pretty good in gymnastics, it helped you be a good diver. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's very important because, being a multi-sport athlete, sometimes you could take the traits in another sport and bring it into a different one and have a lot of success. And for you, I mean, you're a state record holder. So clearly, something, in gymnastics help pay out
Yeah.
for you in the long run for sure. I want to ask though, so when you started diving your freshman year, what made you fall in love with the sport?
Ugh. I mean, like Ryan was saying, just the success, like, really from, like, first to last meet, like, it was just improving every time, and, I mean, I loved learning new things, I really enjoyed, like, pushing myself to do something different just because I've been with gymnastics so long, so I think having something new and kinda, like, refreshing, um, definitely, like, motivated me, and it kinda drove me to do it, and I think also the team, I think, like, having the swim and dive combined, we have a really good, like, family, and all the girls are just awesome, so both of those things really helped.
Absolutely. So I want to backtrack it a little bit. Outside of diving and the sport and gymnastics, what are some things that about yourself that people may not know? Who is Katie Malm? What do you like to do outside of the sport for fun?
Yeah, I mean, I currently right now, I'm doing a lot kind of to prepare me for college. I'm in, like, an internship that I do after school. I, like, love working with kids and kinda just, um, almost like being an instructor, just people like, leading people in the right direction, I guess, and then I also coach, so those 2 things are
Mm.
really, like, helping me, go into college and all that, but, I mean, really, I don't have much, like, off time or free time to myself, so, I mean, sports takes up a lot of it, but, I mean, when I do get those times, like, I love being with my family, I love being with my friends, like, we love watching sports and just, like, enjoying time away from the sport world, I guess, away from diving and gymnastics, and just, like, really, like, filling out my weekends just with others because I don't really get much time during the weeks.
What do you coach? What are
I
you up and coaching?
I do coach gymnastics at my gym, just, like, tumbling and the rec kids, I love it just because I get to share, like, a part of myself, and yeah.
Coach, you have a busy player. How did you keep her focused during the season with her staying busy so much?
I almost feel like the students that are so busy that they don't have a second to even breathe somehow figure out how to organize their time better because there's no other option. I mean, they don't have that downtime, so every second has to be optimized. I think that's kind of where her head has been for a lot of time. I mean, I understand I don't come from the gymnastics world, but the amount of time those kids put toward that sport is different in my experience than pretty much anything else. So I have a feeling that she's always sort of been in that space.
Absolutely. I will say this, Katie, staying busy, especially at a young age, being in high school during the week or whatever, those are things you learn that don't necessarily get taught to you by a coach or anything, is time management, and that's something that you can take all the way through college because college, one thing you're going to learn, a lot of that is all on you. A lot of it is all on you. And the biggest thing about college is time management. Obviously the curriculum is learning it is a little differently. So a lot of that is on you as well. But that time management piece is something that's super important that you will probably be using for the rest of your life. So the fact that you're learning it right now and you're actually practicing it right now is going to take you way farther in life. For
Yeah.
sure. So one thing I do want to ask, so what are the play? This is your senior year, obviously, right? So
Yeah.
what are the plans after high school? What do you plan to do? Are you still gonna be doing diving or playing a sport in college or what's the plan?
Yeah. I committed to Iowa State for diving, so I'll be there in the fall. I'm hoping to major in education and just continue kind of that instructional learning and working with kids. Um, but no, I'm super excited. I might go down there in the summer, maybe for some training, but I'll have to decide that just because, again, super busy. But um, yeah, so I mean, I've talked to that coach a lot and he's like super excited. And I know only having like 4 years of experience and not much in like the club world and like the 3 meter and the platform is definitely like I think a little worrying to coaches, but he has a lot of trust in me and he knows that with more training and more time on the boards that I can get to that point. And I even know like for myself, like I believe that too. Just because like when I'm really focused on something and like have time to work on it, then I can excel in it and I can really get to that level. So I'm super excited.
What made Iowa State the right choice for you?
I mean, really going on campus, I kinda knew it's very kinda homey and, I mean, family oriented, which I really liked, and, the whole team, I mean, the second I got there, we were like, the coaches made it very welcoming, and the girls would come up, like, they were mid walking to class, and they'd stop in and just be so excited to see us, and I think just knowing that I have support there and just the different, like accessibility to everything because like they have a dining hall for students, they have like counselors, they have trainers, they just have everything at your like advantage. So I think having those resources and that support really made it stand out for me.
Choosing the right place is the key, and
Yeah.
development is also the key as well. But it seems like you know exactly what you want as far as the college stuff, and you know, I know for a fact we're going to be hearing great things about you beyond your time in high school. Coach, I want
Thank
to
you.
bring it back to you real quick. Um, you know, Katie's development. You've what y'all have been together probably on the part of the program since her freshman year, I would assume.
Yes.
So what would you say are her next steps in her development? I mean, she's already reached the top as far as breaking the state record. She's won back-to-back state championships, and now she's going to be, playing the sport at the next level. What would you say is her next step in her development?
I would say, I mean, there's always, it's funny, the last dive of her senior year at state meet, we were both right at the TV at the monitor watching the replay and like, all right, here's what you kind of missed. Here's what you could have done a little bit better. And sure, we're waiting for the scores to come through. But I mean, her head is, and this is that we both work very well together on this. I mean, we found new levels to zoom in every year, every dive. We found something else to kind of just tiny little bits and pieces to move forward with. So, um, we both know there's a lot of growth to be had. I mean, there's some cleaning up of the entries. Her jumps can always get a little bit stronger and more consistent, although those have always been pretty great, especially the last 2 years. I mean, I think the biggest ones is, I mean, we don't have access to a 3 meter board at our pool. And to really be successful at the next level, you have to start doing 3 meter, you have to start doing platform. So she's going to have those opportunities at Iowa State. And the thing is, like, and I'll give this to her from gymnastics. I mean, gymnasts know how to fall gracefully. They know how to bail out and how to not take a crash. And I see a lot of divers crash, and she is somebody that no matter how lost she might get, she figures out how to do it safely, and it, so she's going to be set for 3 meter. I mean, getting over that fear of crashing is probably the hardest part of moving up to those higher levels. And I mean, she's ready to just go after it, and she knows where she's at. So I think I think the mental prep of moving up, I think she'll get through that really quickly. I think it's just getting reps on the board on 3 meter and platform.
This is a great thing to see, like somebody who didn't play the sport coming into high school plays a sport, and coach, as you explained it, she's probably a generational talent, you would say, right? So
Absolutely.
it's just, it's a great thing to see. And, congratulations, Katie, if I haven't said it already on this platform, as I mentioned earlier, back-to-back state champion and also record state holder. I believe your dive, correct me if I'm wrong, but your total dive score was 11 dive, total score of 515.75. Is that correct?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
So,
So, and like I said, the last person I believe to hold the state record, if I'm looking up on the IHSA website, it stood for 20 years and it was held by Christina Lucas of Deerfield High School in 2003. And her dive score record was 507.55. So not only did you beat the state record, you beat it pretty well. So
yeah.
once again, I'm going to say congratulations. I want to ask
Thank you.
actually switch it. Yep, no problem. I want to switch it up a little bit. I know we're approaching time and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to ask some quick rapid fire questions for you both. You both can answer it together. It's kind of like questions that are for the both of you. The first question I have is, how would each of you describe your coach and athlete relationship in one word?
Ooh,
One word, solid. I mean, locked in. We'll throw a hyphen in there. Locked in. I mean,
yeah.
we kind of knew where each other was at.
What about you, Katie? Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. I think also, like, energetic. I feel like we have a lot of fun, and then, like, when I'm doing good, he's all pumped up, and then I'm pumped up, like, we just lots of energy, so.
What was the most stressful moment of the state finals for the both of you?
Oh, I don't even know.
For me, I would say, I mean, I just pulled up her score sheet, and I mean, she didn't really miss all that much. I mean, she had several 50-point dives. I would say going into the last dive, knowing that the record was something. I mean, at the end of junior year, we were looking at that 507. We were looking at the Christina Lucas record, and knowing it was coming down to the last dive, um, and seeing that get off the board and seeing that enter and knowing kind of what she needed, that was my most stressful moment.
What about
Yeah.
you, Katie?
I mean, I would say the same, but also, like, the first day, because we have a really big cut, it goes from 50 to, I think, 20, I believe, or 16.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I shouldn't stress about it, but I was still, like, a little nervous, but I think that was a little stressful. After the first time was over, I was good. Just that first time.
Okay, okay. I have one question left. I'm going to ask you both a different question. So, Katie, I'm going to start with you. What's one thing your coach always says at practice?
Ooh. I'm trying to think. Hmm. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's 2 things. So, when we're, like, talking about dives, so I say, like, "Back in my day," or, like, "In my day," whatever. He always likes to say that and kinda beat me, but, um or it's usually, um, something about, like, my jumps or that, like, I'm negative. Oh, yeah, boots. I usually flex my feet a lot, so he says boots, but that's another thing that he likes to say. But constructive criticism.
It's loud, and then I have to either talk sign language across the pool or a lot of dancing and body language and stuff. So I'll just stick my feet up in the air, and she knows what I'm talking about.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's the relationship, right? It's at the end of the day, it's development, and it seems like it worked. Absolutely, Coach. I want to ask you. Obviously, you mentioned Katie is a generational talent, but you still have a program to run next year when she's gone. What excites you the most about the Oswego co-op program moving forward? Maybe looking forward into next season and beyond.
Man, I mean, we don't have a ton of athletes right now, but everybody that has come through the door is looking forward to continuing to get better. I mean, um, I told our freshman girl last year that's coming back. I told her I haven't missed a state meet in several years, and she's got a legacy to live up to. So I put that pressure on her, and I know she's going to stand up to it. Um, she's got a lot of talent and a lot of raw talent. So there's uh, a lot of growth to be had, but like there is a lot of growth to be had. Like she's got it in her. So I feel really good about her next steps. And I gotta say, I'll say this totally selfishly. Like Katie has made me much better at my position, being able to zoom in on all the little things that we talked about. I mean, I'm seeing the sport from a different light, knowing the level that someone can get to, right? So I'm gonna take that with me forever. So I kind of keep Katie in the back of my head. She's gonna be my comparison, unfairly to everybody else. Being honest. Well, Katie could jump a little bit higher. Katie, it's terrible. I'll try to keep that on the inside, but I know I'll be thinking it for a long time. So
Absolutely. But I mean, like you said, you coach one of the probably greatest divers, not only in the program's history, but in the state, as the record proves it. But I just want to thank you both for taking some time out of your day to speak with me on this episode of the Future Plays Here podcast. Um, good luck, Katie, to you and your future endeavors, in college and everything. Also, you said you was in is gymnastics season right now?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Till like
So good
spring.
luck to you in the gymnastics season as well. And
Thank you.
coach, good luck, to you future with the Oswego Co-op program. And I'm sure we'll be seeing other divers in state for the years to come as well. So but as I mentioned, we had girls state diving record holder Katie Malm and her head coach Ryan Pinson of Oswego Co-op. And we're out.
all right, thanks for having us.
Thank you.